it's not every woman these days that likes statutory marriage. Because some women want to be second wives, and some women want to be third wives. Some women want to be fourth wives. That's one I have right now. And the man is like, what's wrong in him having a side chick outside? You know, the person who does statutory marriage today calls it he's cheating, he has a side chick. The traditional man says it that he has a mistress. He says that he has a concubine. There is a place for that in our customary, in our culture. There's a place for somebody having a mistress, somebody having a concubine. It's allowed. It's allowed. So, but this person is having a statutory marriage and wants to just live that traditional life.
And lifestyle.
His traditional wiring. And you are like saying that there's a problem. It's like, no, it's not like I don't love my wife. It's not like he does not see it as cheating.
Hello and welcome. My name is Adenike Yarikwa and I'm your host. This is a continuation of an extensive 2-hour conversation on various issues relating to marriage, which we have now broken down into multiple parts. You can start by either listening to this episode or other previous episodes to enjoy the full conversation. I want you to take us through the types of marriage because there was a time there was a discourse online where they were trying to differentiate, just like you said, church marriage, court marriage.
Yes.
Some people say, if I go to court, do I need to still go to church?
Yes.
Some people will just go to court and you know how some people say, have they gotten married? Is it not just court? They've not come to church. You need to do it. And then, some people, they'll just, you see some Muslims, they just, do the Islamic one and they don't bother with it. Can you educate us on each of them so that for people that are listening to this, to the podcast, at least they are more informed of what the law says, on that each of these marriages.
Okay, so because you want us to do a breakdown, I'll give the two general broad types of marriages, then I'll break it down some more to see how people can understand it. So first we have the statutory marriage, which in simple terms means the marriages that is based on the Marriage Act, right? The Marriage Act of Nigeria. And where can you conduct this type of marriage? You can conduct it in a church that is licensed for marriage and by a licensed minister of that church. And so that's why it is wrong for a pastor from another denomination to do the joining of a couple in a church. So
is it the law? The way the lawyers come
so I know you like one particular pastor, like, oh, that's the pastor that I would like to do my joining and the rest. If you like that pastor to do your joining, go to his church. But if you are doing the marriage in denomination A, and you go and bring a pastor from denomination B to come and do the joining in denomination A, it does not work. So it has to be your church by a licensed minister of your church. Right, to do it. That's for the statutory marriage. Either you are doing it like that in a church, or you go to a marriage registry.
Okay.
If you don't have to do it in a church or in a marriage registry, some people, they like to have garden weddings.
I was going to come to
yes, garden wedding. They want to use a ceremonial hall. They want to do a location. What the law says is that you have to now obtain the license of the governor, the permit of the governor. So the governor has to license that particular place.
Does that mean all these marriages that we are seeing in Nigeria, we just party with them?
Many of them go to registry to go and do the right thing and come out to do
whatever you now want.
The party. So that's for the statutory marriage.
Okay.
Now we have customary marriage. So the customary marriage, you have marriages. So generally, I think customary marriage is usually focused on marriages where you can have more than one spouse. And I think that was why they grouped, initially over time, they grouped Islamic marriage under customary marriage.
Okay.
Right?
Because it's accepted.
Because it's allowed for the man to have as many as 4 wives. Yes. Right? So customary marriage then becomes the marriages that are conducted based on the respective tribes and culture. And now it has also narrowed down. Right. When it comes to customary marriage, the customary marriage has to be based on the custom of the bride.
So I was going to say that is it the custom of the husband or the wife?
It's the custom of the bride because it's the bride that is being given out in marriage.
Okay.
So it is the custom of the bride that governs. Now, when it comes to the wedding ceremony, marrying each other, the custom of the bride is what applies.
Okay.
But after they are married, the custom of the man is what now applies.
When it comes to children and things.
Yeah, so when it comes to children, when it comes to everything, the marital relationship and the custom of the man, because he has married her into his own family, into his culture, into his tribe, right? So generally, these are the types of marriages. And there's a little tweak to it. Let's assume people go to a church to get married now, and that church is not licensed for marriage. The minister is not licensed for marriage. In reality, what is from some case laws, that is from some cases, judgment on some cases in court regarding that, what we'll get to see is that the courts have always interpreted such a marriage as a customary marriage. So it does not enjoy the privileges of the statutory marriage. I know many people usually like doing statutory marriages because of the certificate, right? So I usually say something that one of the ways you can know if your church marriage is a statutory marriage or not is to see what certificate was given to him. Was the certificate that was given to you, does it carry Federal Government of Nigeria? Does it carry our coat of arms? Do you see the Marriage Act written on it? If they are not written on it, it's not statutory. There is a wave right now. Many people are not wanting to do statutory marriages again. Because over time, people pushed for statutory marriage because it was what gave them a marriage certificate to prove that they were married. And also for immigration purposes, for job purposes, for change of name purposes, and the rest. And it has always existed, interestingly, even before we were born, but it's just that people did not know about it, that you could actually have a certificate over customary marriages. People did not know. It is this last jackpot syndrome that actually made people to realize that there's actually a certificate for customary marriages. And Western nations have accepted it. They have now recognize it. Right? Before, Western nations did not recognize it because people did not have evidence to show. They did not have a legal tender, as we say. They did not have a legal document to show, to say we are truly married. But right now, and for many states, the culture usually states that you are supposed to register within 60 days, within 90 daes after the customary marriage. Depending. If you are in this city now, if you are in Ibadan, you want to go to your local government. There's also a council for customary marriages. So you want to go to your local government.
So that means that, but then if it's custom, it has to be where you are from.
It has to be, yes, if you are registering it, you are getting it from where the lady is from.
Okay, because the reason why I say that is, I mean, if I'm from, say I'm Yoruba.
Yes.
And then I'm living, say, in the north.
Oh.
And my husband is also in the north.
Exactly. Well, if the two of you did your traditional marriage there.
But with our own custom.
Yes, it's your own custom. You did it there with your own custom. You may go there.
Okay.
I'm sure their certificate will be able to give a space for you to feel under which custom did the traditional marriage happen. In some states, they tell you that you should go and register it in the closest customary court.
Okay.
To the location of the marriage.
So you don't necessarily need to go back to your state of origin.
No.
Where you
No.
So
it's just the place, yes, the state where you did it and the rest. Either you find the customary law, the customary court there, or you go to the local government. It's something that is growing. So even some of all these different offices that are mentioned right now, may even be ignorant of this because over the years people did not do it. They may not even know such a document exists. They may not know such a document exists and read. In fact, for some people, the only reason why I have been able to actually get some things is because I was able to cite the laws. So maybe I wrote a legal advice, a legal opinion, or a legal position on a particular matter, and I cited the laws. So by the time they go to find the laws, they discover that, oh, true, this here exists. And interestingly, the laws will always have as part of their schedules,
Yes.
the sample of the documents
Yes.
for them to now know, oh, this is what you are going to prepare.
Yes.
Yes, so.
Yes. That's quite interesting. But another thing I found that in the past, why people chose, you made mention of something that people want the advantages.
Yes.
Statutory. Now, one advantage I'd heard or that was popularly accepted, I'm guessing still popularly accepted, is that under statutory, the man can only marry one wife.
Yes.
He needs to divorce me.
Yes.
First, I marry
another person.
Whilst under culture, whether or not you are even aware of something,
He can marry
multiple wives. You don't need to know. That's one reason why I know that some people have either gone for it or not gone for it.
Yes.
For people that say, okay, fine, maybe say for example, Muslim, or I was going to marry multiple wives. Once I marry you under the statutory, I can no longer marry. I can no longer go. So I know that that's an advantage. What other advantage? Are there other benefits? To be married under the act, apart from the certificate.
The thing about it is that, like you mentioned earlier on, I have a matter in court right now, and the guy is saying, my client is a Muslim. Okay. He's asking for divorce. In fact, we are asking for divorce even before the consummation of the marriage. Yes, the marriage has not been consummated because the issue started from the marriage registry. After when they were giving them the certificate, they mentioned that you see now with this your certificate and with this marriage you have, you can no longer marry more than one wife. You cannot do this. And he was like, he's a Muslim. He wanted his marriage. He wants his marriage and his family.
But was he not aware of this before?
He was not aware of. I don't think he was aware of all of that. I think he just felt they were going to do it so that they would just have the certificate. Because to him, it was his wife that was pushing for it. And she was pushing for it more or less like, let them have the certificate for their marriage.
Yeah.
Right. And the plan was also for them to have it even before their nikah.
Okay.
Right. So, and we are in court right now for divorce. And in fact, the last time that we were in court, he said it openly in court and to the judge that, say, if you divorce us right now and she still wants to be in the marriage, I'm still willing and ready to still marry her under Islamic law. I'm saying it's not like I don't like her again, I hate her and the rest, but I don't want my marriage and my family to be regulated by statutory law.
But it's good to be educated on the type of marriage you want to get into.
Yes.
Because if he had the information that this marriage, when you're going to the registry, this is what it's going to entail, he would have even bothered.
No, he would not have.
Thank you for listening to this episode. The conversation still continues and you can listen to other parts of the recording in the next episode. See you there.